In beauty may I walk all day long. May I walk through the seasons. May I walk, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace on this path. May I walk through my life. May I walk in old age. May I walk, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. May I walk, 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 may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace, in joy. May I walk in love. May I walk in gratitude. May I walk, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace, in stillness. May I walk in forgiveness. May I walk in loving kindness. May I walk, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. May I walk, may I walk, may I walk, may I walk, may I walk,
Good morning. I was wondering why I was getting snapped at in the back there. Good morning, Celebration Center for Spiritual Living, and welcome to yet another Sunday morning. My name is Reverend Chris Alexander. I am the senior minister here at Celebration Center. Is my microphone on? I'm getting shakes of the head. Good morning, Celebration Center. Okay, good morning, Celebration Center. Welcome to yet another glorious Sunday morning here. And I am getting nods in the back, so I'm sure that it's being adjusted for those people in the room who are still shaking their heads. My name is Reverend Chris Alexander. I'm not sure what y'all heard. I'm the senior minister here at Celebration Center for Spiritual Living, and we are coming to you from Falls Church, Virginia, where we are serving the DC metro area and the globe because we have made a commitment that our beloved community extends beyond these four walls, and we offer everything that we do in a hybrid format. Now, we have a wonderful service planned for you today. We are continuing our journey into the Pixar movie Soul with our talk, Let It Flow, this week. We have Lynn hello. Arena Kurashevitz is our practitioner on platform. Yay, Arena. She's so full of energy that she just booms my voice into the room. And today after the service, we are doing our drum circle with Brent Mass. So be sure to, if you're at home, grab your drum, grab a little snack, come join us online. You can drum on Zoom with your sound off and just drum along with what's happening in the room. Or if you're here in the room and you forgot your drum, that's okay. We have plenty for you. Also, if you are joining us online this morning, please say good morning in the chat. Let us know what you had for breakfast. I had oatmeal. And and if you are joining us for the first time this morning, we have a welcome card for you to fill out. So if you're here in the room, you can find that welcome card right over there. If you're online, we invite you to scan this code that's right here next to me or visit the website that's right down here. Fill out that guest card so that we know who you are and how we can support you as part of your beloved community. I have a few announcements for us this morning. First of all, if you have no idea what the movie Soul is about, we are doing a movie screening next Sunday as our hybrid community time. So at 12:30 p.m. after the church service, it gives you enough time if you're at home to go grab your food, come back to your computer screen. We will be live streaming it off of Zoom. And if you're here in the room, once again, gives you enough time to go grab some food, whatever you would like, and then come back so that we can watch this movie together. Also, behind me, you see Ernest Holmes. Now, Ernest is our founder, if you don't know who this is. And I have to tell you, we have a giant Ernest because I've always wanted one. And it was... myself and Rev Ryan's wedding present from the community, from some members of the community here, was this live Ernest, and he is 5'7", which is actually how tall Ernest was. So he is, his head's a little out of proportion, but he is the right height. And so Ernest decided that he wanted to get in on the activities of Soul, and so he has dressed up like Joe Gardner. So go ahead and put up Joe. So there you see, can you see the resemblance between Joe Gardner and Ernest Holmes? I crack myself up if nothing else. And we invite you to join Ernest in dressing up on October 30th for Halloween. You can dress up as one of the characters as Soul. You can just dress up as whoever you would like to be for Halloween this year and join us on Sunday morning in your costumes on October 30th. Also, November 14th through 17th. I am so excited about this, y'all. Reverend Ryan's ministry is called Soul Evolution Collaborative. Y'all have heard me talk about it before, and they are offering their second annual O Shift event. This one is O Shift Healing the Divide, and this is a summit. It's a 3-evening summit from November 14th through 17th. And we are an affiliated center with this program. So it will be on our website, or if you scan this code that you see up on the screen right now, you can register for the 3-day summit, and 33.33% of your registration comes back to Celebration Center. How awesome is that? So by affiliating with this program, and the more people that sign up, the more that, first of all, we're all going to be on the same foundation of what Healing the Divide means as a community, but it also is going to support Soul Evolution Collaborative and Celebration Center. So you're going to want to sign up for this awesome event. There are amazing speakers, including our spiritual leader for the entire organization, Dr. Edward Velhune. And we have y'all gotten the emails from Miriam, our volunteer coordinator, about volunteering to be a greeter? Have y'all seen those? Maybe not. Well, we are looking for greeters on Sunday morning. So if you would like to be a greeter, even if you're at home, I invite you to go find that email. It's from Miriam, or just talk to Miriam. She's right here in the room. Go talk to her. Tell her when you would like to be a greeter, or you can email her at miriam.catellis@yahoo.com and let her know that you're interested in greeting, and she'll be happy to set you up with that. And finally, oh, nope, not finally. Sorry, so close, y'all, so close. Also, if you have a prayer request that you would like to give to our ministry of prayer, you can do that in a couple of different ways. You can scan this QR code that's right next to me, or you can go to Celebration Center and click on the affirmative prayer button. Either of those will take you to a link where you can fill out a prayer request, and our ministry of prayer will pray on those on Monday. And now, finally, it is the second week, not yet. It is the second week of our Committed Giving program. So last week, we talked about spiritual enrichment, which is all about our own personal spiritual growth. And this week, we are talking about center growth, which is our growth together as a center, as a community. So if you are online, we have a QR code for you. The one that's yep, that one. And I invite you to click on that or visit the website that's down here. Nope, sorry, down here. And that is going to take you to a survey. It just has one question. What does center growth mean to you? And that is where we would like you to put all of your thoughts, all of your ideas, anything that you want to see our center doing in 2023 to fulfill our vision. And if you are here in the room, we invite you to grab a pen and go over to our bulletin board, and under Center Growth, it's the top right one, to write all of those thoughts and visions and ideas that you have of what Center Growth means to you. And to get those juices flowing, we have a video about Center Growth. Hello. So I'm Reverend Chris Alexander, and I am here with
Janine Ballou, Leadership Council President.
Janine, who is, yes, our Leadership Council President. And we are going to talk today about center growth. And so the first thing we have to do is define, what does center growth mean? Because I think it's different than what it used to mean. What do you think, Janine?
Traditionally speaking, and as a longtime member of the Celebration Center, that people associate growth with people in the seats, the number of bodies that are actually walking through the door and just sitting down. But I think in this time that we've been in, especially the last 2 years, that the number of people walking in the door has shifted a bit. To me, the way that I've been thinking about church growth is more about the quality of the teachings that we're receiving.
Well, and I would also say that center growth, because I think you're right, the last 2 to 3 years, the landscape of what our world looks like is completely different. And so growth isn't just butts in the seat, but it's also people watching online and views on our videos and people attending other events. We have people that come to the meditation or the Power of 8 circle who never step foot in on a Sunday morning and yet are very active members of our community. And so we really are growing as a center in a lot of really cool ways.
So growth looks, in a way, exponentially different. It has a lot of facets.
Yeah, and there's exponential potentiality there, I think.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
So what are you, as our Leadership Council President, most excited about for 2023?
Well, we're talking about growth. So I'll start with me. I'm excited for my own spiritual growth in the next year. I am engaged right now in a class with you that I'm enjoying a lot. And so I love the idea that it doesn't matter how long we've been at the center, it doesn't matter how old we are, that there's always opportunities for ourselves to grow. And so it starts with me. I'm also excited about the opportunity that we have to experience our new members. We've got new members from virtual locations, or the real locations to them, but they're virtual to us, and including a practitioner. That I just think that is so incredibly amazing. And then always for me is growth is about deepening the connections that we have with each other. It's just fun to have the opportunities to do different things in a new way with the same people and with new people.
And finally, why do you support Celebration Center?
Well, because it has consistently been a place for me to practice my spiritual tools and to get support for that practice. It's an anchor for me, Reverend Chris. It's a place that I know that people are perhaps more well-versed in the philosophy than I am, and so I can always reach out to anyone and ask. And at the same time, to practice the things that I do understand and cherish. And it just feels like home.
Oh, so I know Celebration Center feels like home for myself as well. And I would say that that's probably true for a lot of y'all watching online and here in the room. And so that gets your juices flowing about what center growth means to you. And when you're ready to make that commitment, we have a couple of different ways that you can do that. So you can, of course, go to our website and that link will be there, or you can scan the QR code. Or visit this website here, and it will take you to our committed giving form. We are also going to have them here in person if you would like to just fill it out, and be expecting a letter from Janine, our Leadership Council President, about all of the cool stuff that we've done this year and what our expectations are for next year as well. And now I'd like to invite Lynn for an opening song.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I hope you'll sing along with this. It's the Daniel Namod tune, My Soul is Welcome Here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Whoa, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome here.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much. My soul is welcome here. This is so true. And I invite you to enter the sacred time in our service with 3-part breath. As we breathe together, we're remembering our oneness, synchronizing together as the beloved community that spans across the globe, and recognizing the unique gifts we each bring. So please take a breath with me. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. And this from this place of oneness, let's read our vision together. We are celebrating spirit within, knowing the oneness of humanity. My reading today, as I always watch Reverend Chris's muse, and, I don't know if I'm getting what she was putting in, but, we're all individual expressions of the divine, and that's what I got from her inspirational video. So today my reading is from Living the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. And it says, religious science teaches that God is personal, and personal in a unique sense to everyone. It teaches that conscious communion with the indwelling spirit opens avenues of intuition and provides a new starting point for the creative power of Almighty. And I invite you all to close your eyes, if you're comfortable, and probably take another breath, just on your own pace. Just breathe in that individual expression of the divine that you are, and breathe out love and peace and creative energy that you give to the world. And I know that God is all and God is individual. I know that God is the universe itself in everything beyond it. It is the great before, it is the great after, it is the great presence, because God doesn't know anything but now. And I know that God is all that I can imagine, and it is all that I cannot imagine at all. I know that there is no place when God is not. God is all there is. And from recognizing that God is all there is, I know that I am one and inseparable from the divine. I'm an individual, unique expression of the beloved. And as I know it for myself, I absolutely know and feel and recognize it for everyone in this room and beyond. Everyone who is watching me right now or will be watching me later. I know that everyone is perfect, inseparable expression of the divine, right here, right now, and forever. And all the divine qualities belong to each of us, here and now and forever. Love, peace, joy, abundance, prosperity, bliss, harmony, everything that nature has, each and every one of us is equipped with. And I declare the spiritual truth, knowing that there is wholeness, that there is peace, that there is abundance, even sometimes when it doesn't look like that. I know that God and God's qualities is within every situation, right here, right now. And I know perfect employment for everyone who is seeking for it. I know perfect relationship. I know perfect health. I know joy. I know enough and more than enough for everyone who is here. And I know peace. I know peace for this planet. I know and see that this blue planet is full of green energy and love. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to know that God is, to know that I am, and to know that everyone is. I am grateful to recognize oneness with the divine. And from this deep, deep gratitude, from knowing the spiritual truth, I simply release it into the law. And I know that my words are already done in the perfect mind of God. And now my job is simply release and surrender and let it be. And I do it. And this is so. And so it is.
I'm going to do a song by a very wonderful songwriter that's about this beautiful season that we're in. It's called The Leaves of Autumn by Jennifer Cutting. What was will never be again. What will be is uncharted. What's now is changed, so let's begin. Among the leaves of autumn, the flowers of summer fade away. Drop seeds for future growing. The hawk is here, but not to stay. Among the leaves of autumn, to know the joy of letting go, the giddy flight of falling, surprise at softly landing so. Among the leaves of autumn, and though the last refuse to fall and cling for fear of changing, October overcomes us all. Among the leaves of autumn,
Oh, bitterness can shrivel dead what gratitude made rosy. The brown leaves curl beside the red among the leaves of autumn. What was will never be again. What will be is uncharted. What's now is change, so let's begin among the leaves of autumn.
Wow. That was beautiful, Lynn. Thank you. So, if y'all remember, last week we left Joe. He had just caught his big break with Dorothea Williams, and then he fell into a manhole and died. That's where we left Joe last week. So it doesn't seem like it's going too well for him. And indeed, he falls down, 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 and he lands on this giant conveyor belt that is leading him to the great beyond. And we don't see what the great beyond is. It's just this big white tunnel-like experience. Now, Joe is not having it. He is not having it because he finally caught his big break and he refuses to die. And so he tries to run down the conveyor belt and he's jumping off of the heads of other souls that are moving towards the great beyond. And finally, he tries to jump off the conveyor belt and he manages to rip a tear into the fabric of time and space and fall into the other side where he winds up in the great before, is what it's called. And in the great before, we meet a series of characters. Now, on either side, those big, tall characters, they are named Jerry. And down at the bottom, you can see on the left, the tinier of the souls. This is 22. On the right, that is Joe. You can see the resemblance. And then there is Terry. So Jerry, they're all called Jerry, is the coming together. This is their explanation for who they are. They say, I am the coming together of all quantized fields of the universe, appearing in a form your feeble human brain can comprehend. You can call me Jerry. And Joe, in this great before, he poses as a mentor. So first he's just there with all the little tiny baby souls, and they're so cute, and they're getting their personalities, and they're going to classes like body driving. Could not remember that word. Body driving 101, and all these classes and things like that to learn how to be human. And then once they complete all of their classes and they get their spark, they get an Earth pass and they can go to Earth as a human. Now, Joe poses as a mentor. There are certain souls that get to mentor and support these baby souls in finding their spark. And so Joe poses as a mentor and he gets as his mentee 22. Now, what we see is that before he gets assigned 22, that the person before him gets assigned soul number 7 trillion or 1 trillion something, this huge number, and then there's 22. So this soul has been around for a while, unwilling to go to Earth. And she has been mentored by such greats as Mother Teresa, Marie Antoinette, all of these people, all of whom hate her. They cannot stand her. And in fact, one of the scenes, it's Mother Teresa says, I have compassion for all living souls, except for you. I don't like you. That's what she says to 22. And so 22 says, let's just get on with it. Better people than you have tried to find my spark. It's not going to happen. I have no interest in going to Earth. Earth sounds terrible. And just don't even bother. Now, Joe is like, wait a second. So all you have to do is get one of these Earth passes and you can go back to Earth. So how about they strike up a deal? I'll help you find your spark, and then you can give me your Earth pass, and I'll go to Earth for you. You don't have to go. And 22 loves this idea. She has no interest in being a human. So they try everything. They go to the Hall of Everything is what it's called. And they look for 22 spark and they can't find it. And they roam through Joe's life, and 22 says, wow, you really didn't do anything with your life, did you? And this doesn't make Joe feel very great, but still no spark. And so they run away. They run away from Jerry, and they end up in the zone. Now, y'all know the zone. We have all been in the zone. So the zone is when we are really into something and we feel like we're in another place. We're in the zone. We're in the flow. You know that space when you're just so into whatever you're doing. Yes, that you just are in it. It's that place between the physical and the spiritual. So that's where they are. And there they meet Moonwind. This is Moonwind right here. And Moonwind, along with his gang of friends, meet up every Tuesday in this astral plane, the zone, and support people who have allowed their zone experiences to become obsessions. So there are people in the zone and they're floating and they're playing the piano, or they're, writing, or they're doing a play, or they're meditating, or they're singing, or whatever it is, and it's really beautiful. But there's also in the zone these big, ugly monster-like creatures that are lumbering around, and they're really scary. And these creatures, we discover, are the people who have allowed their anxieties and obsessions to disconnect them from their life. And so it's people who started in the zone and then just allowed it to get them heavier and heavier and heavier until they were disconnected from their own life, disconnected from their soul. And so that's what I want to talk about today, is that when we allow ourselves to get so obsessed, so anxious about getting it right, about perfection, that we move, our zone state moves from being in the flow to this being heavy, this everything is hard, everything feels like work. Oh my goodness. Now, have you ever experienced that, where everything just feels hard and heavy? Have you ever experienced that with the thing that used to bring you joy? I know that I have. I know, so I was a music major in college. I know I've told y'all that before. And I loved music. I played all kinds of different instruments. I'm sorry, y'all. My brain is only sort of working this morning. All kinds of different instruments. And I sang in the choir, and I lettered in choir and in band and in symphony. I had 3 letters on my Letterman jacket. And, I played the clarinet, and I played the saxophone, and I played the bass clarinet, and I played the drums, and I played the tuba, and I played all these different instruments. And it was just amazing. And then I got into college and I went to school for music theory and composition. And I took 1,000,000 hours, and I would go to the practice rooms and I would practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. And I would forget to eat and I would forget to sleep. And I was super addicted to caffeine, like not in a good way. And it became this obsession. And despite the fact that we had 3 bands in my college, and I was in, as a freshman, the top bands, the 5th chair of the top bands, with all of these other students and grad students, and I was 5th chair out of all of the clarinetists, I still felt like I wasn't very good at the clarinet. In fact, I pretty much thought I was horrible at it. And honestly, I never realized that I was wrong until probably like 5 years ago. I was like, I think because I would always say I dropped out of school. I did not finish music school, and I always used to say, well, I just wasn't that good at it. I just couldn't cut it. I didn't have the chops, all the things. And then about 5 years ago, I was like, I was fifth chair as a freshman. I think I might have been pretty good. And I hadn't realized that I had allowed my obsessions and my anxiety and my perfection to cloud my vision so that I was so disconnected from what was that I couldn't see the truth that I wasn't the best player, but I didn't need to be the best player. I needed to just allow myself to stay in the flow and to not allow my obsessions to get the best of me. So, how do we do that? This becomes the question, right? How do we do that? And the answer is balance. Unfortunately, it's not going to be an easy answer. There's no, just do this one thing this one time, and then you never again have to worry about letting your obsessions or anxieties get the best of you. You will just, be fine for the rest of your life. No, the answer is balance. And like balance suggests, it's this constant, conscious action that we get to take in our lives to remain in balance. So I have some ways to do that. Y'all want to hear the ways to do that? So, thank you. Did somebody say no or yes? Oh, okay. I thought my spouse was back there saying no. Thank you. So the first way to stay in balance is to live from your values. Now, before you can live from your values, you have to discover what your values are. And these are going to be, we have this idea that values are the set thing. We have been taught to believe that certain values are good and other values are not good. And this belief system is also often societal and familial. So our family teaches us the values that are important to have. And then until we consciously look, we will often live from the state of unconsciousness of acting from our actual values and then beating ourselves up for not having the values that we were told we should have. Now, for example, because that can be a little, what? My number one value is authenticity. But my family's number one value when I was growing up was intelligence. And so I was always fitting myself into this box of being intelligent, being the best at band, being the best, right? And it wasn't until, and that worked. It worked for a while. I did good. I did good in school. I had a decent upbringing, all of that. But what ended up happening is that as I got later and later into life and things started cropping up to the surface, that all of a sudden I was making decisions from my authenticity and then beating myself up for not following this value of intelligence. So my authenticity told me to drop out of school for music because music wasn't the thing. But my intelligence, the value of intelligence, my family was telling me that that was wrong. And so then I was telling myself that was wrong. And so I had to discover my values and then live from those values. Not that intelligence isn't a value of mine, but just that I am always, always, always going to choose authenticity over anything else. And so I can trust myself to be authentic, and I can trust myself to make decisions in alignment with that. And the faster that you can find your values and then live from those values, the more congruent you become and the easier it is to live with yourself in alignment with your own balance. So that is the first one. Live your values. Number 2 is not going to be a lot of ours, myself included. It's be flexible. Not our favorite, right? Be flexible. So what does being flexible mean? Well, it means that we're going to have to go with the flow, and we're going to have to let things not be perfect, and we're going to have to let people make mistakes, and we're going to have to let ourselves make mistakes. I know it's like my least favorite thing to make mistakes. And we're going to have to release our resistance to what we want things to be and embrace what things actually are. And understand that as much as we want to, there is a lot that we can't control. And so much like the trees that survive the great storms, we have to learn to be flexible and to bend with the wind rather than break. We have to realize that going with the flow is going to be so much easier in the long run than forcing and fighting and holding on to the side. Now, the next aspect of balance is leaning into self-care. Leaning into our self-care. Now, this for me means that I get to lean into and embrace my own rituals and routines. It means that I get to wake up every single morning and do my spiritual practice. Now, some people do it at night, some people do it in the middle of the day, whatever works for you. I am not telling you have to get up and do spiritual practice. What I am saying, though, is that if I don't do spiritual practice first thing in the day, it doesn't happen. And then nobody, including myself, wants to be around me because I am just not a pleasant individual without the balance that my own spiritual practice gives to me. I'm being heckled this morning for those of you online. Is it called support? Anyways, when I do not have my own spiritual practice at the center of what I am doing, then I am out of balance. That is the reality of it. And so for me, spiritual practice is at the heart of it. And for you, you get to decide what that is. I personally think that all of us could be doing spiritual practice, and that spiritual practice doesn't look the same for everyone. So for you, spiritual practice might be walking or walking your dog or playing with your cat or sitting and drinking the most delicious cup of coffee ever, or reading or writing or meditating or art or music or dancing. Spiritual practice doesn't have to be, it's not this prescriptive thing, but we find, what does self-care mean to me? What are those things that hold me, that anchor me, that remind me of my own truth and put me into balance, and then do that. So we get to lean in our self-care. And then once we have that foundation of spiritual practice, whatever that is, we get to then allow it to influence and direct our physical self-care, what we eat, how we move, who we hang out with, the media that we ingest. All of those things contribute to our self-care. We get to allow our mental health to be at the forefront as well. We get to do the things we need to do for our own mental health. Maybe that's therapy, maybe it's exercise, maybe it's talking to our friends, whatever it is. And then we get to have our emotional self-care at the forefront as well. We get to allow ourselves to feel all of the feelings, whatever they are, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between. We don't shove those away in the name of spirituality, but rather we embrace them and allow ourselves to feel them. The next aspect to living a balanced life is to move with intention. Move with intention. And so for me, the question I always ask is, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? What is the why behind the decisions that I am making? And this goes back to my values, right? I can trust that I'm always going to move from authenticity. And so I bring that a step further, and I intentionally choose actions and decisions in a life where authenticity is at the forefront. And when all of the sudden, when our decisions and our actions move from this unconscious just going based off of what we were raised to do or how we react to things, when we move to conscious choices, we move from it being a reaction to a response. And when something happens, we stop and we say, what is being called of me here? How do I want to respond in this situation? Now, I don't believe we're ever going to get to a place, maybe there are people in the world, I am not one of them who has gotten to this place, where we never react. There is always going to be something that triggers us, right? And we just react in that moment, and that's okay. And so then the intentionality becomes, wow, I did this happened, and then I reacted this way. That wasn't my finest, most proudest moment, and that's okay. That's just information. What do I get to do now? How do I get to move intentionally to maybe clean up this situation, maybe apologize to a person if I hurt them, whatever it is, and then move forward from a response. So the response can happen to a reaction, and that might happen sometimes. It's okay. And then finally, to live a life of balance, we must live in the present moment, stay in the present moment. And we can do that by noticing our surroundings, by paying attention to all of our senses, by really becoming present to the people that we're with, by looking them in the eyes, by feeling our feelings, by allowing others to feel their feelings, by paying attention to the messages that our bodies are sending us, and to return to our breath over and over and over again. So, when you find yourself in the zone, this place, this beautiful, magnificent, amazing place of clarity and genius, I invite you to make sure that you're living in the zone in a way of balance that brings you deeper into your humanity instead of removing yourself from your humanity. And to allow your zone experiences to inform and direct the way that you live your life. Let's pray. And so what I know is that this zone is all that there is because it is all that there is, that we are living in this state of humanity, this individualized expression of something that is so amazing, so magnificent, so infinite that we cannot possibly comprehend it. And so we catch glimpses. We catch glimpses in the zone. We catch glimpses as we move about our daily lives. We even catch glimpses as we are being our most human selves, that we are infinite, absolute, and eternal, because we are the expression of the infinite, the absolute, and the eternal. And so I know and affirm that we live lives of balance, that we are constantly allowing ourselves to show up as our magnificent selves, as our soul and our humanity all wrapped up into this beautiful divine package that we are. And I am so grateful for this beloved community where we continue to practice. We continue to practice our own evolution, our own humanity, our own zones of genius. We get to practice it all with one another and show up holding and loving ourselves and each other. And so I simply release my word. I let it go. And so it is.
So now after that talk, I'm going to change the song I was going to sing. I have a song about balance, so I just feel like I guess I'm meant to be singing that right now. So this is called In the Balance. Now, I don't usually play it on this guitar, though, so hang on a sec. Here we go. It's called In the Balance. I just wanna play, I wanna sing my song, I just wanna run and not be gone too long, 'cause this time is precious still. I wanna keep it close to me, I'm wishing on a star and make more time to see. You can always dream, you can put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. You can always dream, no one's taking that from you, only you can see it through, just like the way you do. So feed it from your soul and weigh it from both sides. The fulcrum and the tides will give direction that you'll know. You can always dream, you can put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. So when you make the time, it's a game of give and take. When the balance is at stake, you need to take a look inside, look deep into your heart, and remember how it feels. It's where the answer lies and tells you what is real. You can always dream, you can put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. On the nylon string.
Beautiful. I love that song, Lynn. So this is the time in our service for our gifts and our offerings. And so as a reminder, your presence, simply by showing up, whether you're online, watching later, here in the room, that your gift is, your presence is a gift to us. And we appreciate your time, your talents, your love, your energy, and your treasures. And so if you have a monetary donation that you would like to give to us, you can scan the QR code or visit our website, celebrationcenter.org, and click on the Give button. If you are here in the room, we do have a basket over to the side, and we are so grateful for all of your gifts.
And I'm so excited to read the affirmation. Take a deep breath and please read with enthusiasm. This gift I give is God in action. I give it in joy. I give it in love. I give it in faith. I give it knowing that I am blessed. And so I gratefully give. And I invite us all to bless the prosperity of this center, of this universe, as we know that the Celebration Center is an inseparable part of the universe. And we bless generosity, we bless talents, we bless skills, we bless everything that everyone's presence. Because by giving your presence, you're giving the gift to the center. And we bless each other, knowing that our blessings go to the world, change it little by little or not so little, and come back to us multiplied abundantly. And I accept it in gratitude, and I invite you to do that with me and release it. And this is so, and so it is.
Okay, I hope you'll join in with this song we're doing for the month. This is a beautiful anthem called We Shall Be Known by Mamuse. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. One more time. Come on, everybody. Come on. Here we go. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
And so I invite you to repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. I am led by spirits. I am guided by wisdom. I am protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is.